Welcome to How the Market Works. I'm going to show you today some of the basic ways to navigate around the site and manage your portfolio. At the top of the page, the first thing you can see at the left corner here is the My Portfolio. All of the options here are different ways to look at things you already own, get a look at your order history, your transactions, your rankings, and things like that. The next tab is where you go to make a trade. We have one different trading window for stocks and ETFs and a separate one for mutual funds. Next, you have contests. You can view the contest that you've already joined into, join a new contest, see some of the most popular public contests, create your own contest, or even look at the contest forums for any contest that you're already a member of. The Education Center has hundreds of articles, videos, and forum posts of things that you can use both using this site and investing as a whole. For example, we have good articles about what a stock is, what an ETF is, how you can diversify your portfolio, and much, much more. There's also several hundred glossary terms, so if you see some word that you don't really know having to do with investing, you can probably find a description of it here. Next, you have trading ideas. If you're trying to start trading but you're not sure where to start, this is a great place to look for some market news, some popular stocks, things that the brokers are saying might be good or not good to have in your portfolio, and even some of the most popular ETFs. You can use our quotes page to get a ton of information on any company traded in the US markets. We also have international markets. I think about 30 different countries are included in the quotes tool. Options, futures, mutual funds. There's even things you can't trade on How the Market Works, but you can get a quote for them and some information. And that includes not just the quotes, but some tick-by-tick trades, the charts for these companies, company news, company info. So if you want to know about what this particular company does, you can look at company info, financial statements, and even some analyst ratings. You can also put in any symbol here and quotes to take you to a quotes page for that particular symbol. Here you can see our interactive financial calculators. All of these things are useful if you want to learn how to make your own budget, learn how to save, or do anything like that. For example, the Millionaire Calculator will show you how you need to save if you want to save up $1 million by the time you reach 65. The Home Budget Calculator you can use to put in your current expenses, and then try to build a way to make a good savings plan so you have some money left over at the end of each month. Our shop has things like t-shirts, buttons, and things like that you can buy with the How the Market Works logo if you really love the site. And the About Us has a little bit of information about how the market works and the Contact Us link if you need to contact our support team. So let's take a look at some of the pages inside my portfolio. The Open Positions page will be where you go when you first log in. If you own any stocks, they'll appear on this page. For example, I have Google, a gold company, and Alibaba. You have information on how to trade each of these, some information on the current stock, a chart showing its daily performance, which is red if you're losing money and green if you're making money on this stock. You can also look at some news for this company or its current chart here. On the right-hand side, you can see the word of the day, which cycles through different glossary terms that you might want to know. You can find all of these words in our Education Center under the glossary as well. This pie chart will show you how your portfolio is currently allocated. You can see I own so little of this KOR that it doesn't even appear in my portfolio pie chart, 0.2%. But you can also look at this by different industry. You can see everything I own is currently in the technology sector or market capacity. Right now, everything I own is a large cap company. If I had mutual funds, there would be a separate tab here. But you can also switch between a list view, just showing you a pure list of what you have, or different charts showing you different time periods. If you click All, you can also see everything together. Since I have no mutual funds, it's giving me a recommended list based on some of those popular we see traded on the page. You can also get a market summary of some of the most popular indexes you can look at. For example, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and the NASDAQ. And we even have some helpful hints at the bottom if you want to know a little bit more from our Education Center. Account balances is much the same, where you have things like your current cash, how much you started with, and a little bit more information on things that are actually in your portfolio. At the top of almost every page, you can switch between the current contest that you're looking at, and you can view a portfolio snapshot that gives you a little bit more information about the cash you have, the buying power, and the currency that your portfolio is in. On the account balances page, you can also switch between different views. For example, this tells me my portfolio and buying power. This one tells me my trading rules for this contest. My rankings page will just show me the rankings for any contest that I'm in. Since I'm not currently in any contests that have rankings, I can't see any rankings on this page. You can use the Graph My Portfolio feature if you want to see your portfolio over time. Since I've just opened this portfolio today, there's no time for it to be charting. However, you'd be able to switch between a 1 month and a 3 month view depending on how long your portfolio has been open. You can also choose different indices to chart it against. When I have more days in my portfolio, you'll see my portfolio line in purple and whatever index I want to compare it against in blue. We have the S&P 500 by default, but you can also chart it against gold, against oil, against European ETF or Canada, or anything you'd really like. Your transaction history will show you a list of the trades that you've made over a given date. You just need to put in these specifications for the dates, and it'll show you all the trades you've made in that time period. You can see the symbol, the price that you paid for it, with the exchange rate, and how much it actually costs you in total. You'll also sometimes have a trade button here where you can trade again. Your order history is a little bit different. This includes orders that you've placed but haven't necessarily executed. For example, I've placed this mutual fund order, but it hasn't executed yet. So because it hasn't executed, I can click this cancel button and not have this order go through. Anytime you place a limit order and you'd like to cancel it, this is where you'd be able to do it. You can also sort between different types of orders here, between your open orders, your filled orders, ones you've canceled, and limit orders that you've had that have expired. The Assignments tab is the last part of the My Portfolio page. This is a selection of assignment items that have been chosen for your contest. It'll show your overall completion percentage, the exact task that you need to do, where you need to go to fulfill this task, how many you need to do, how many you've done, and your current completion percentage for this item. You can see everything you need here. I think there's over 30 items that can be in this list now, and then they can always change how many you're required. For example, right now you're only required to buy 1 stock in this assignment, but your teacher could have you have 30 or 40 stocks. It all depends on what the contest creator has chosen. Next we'll look at the Make a Trade page. There'll be full videos on how to trade anything in particular, but this is just the layout of the page. Again, you'll have a quote of the day here. This is different from the word of the day, and it's just something that a famous investor has said that gives you a little bit of insight on what you should look for while you're investing. You can also switch between US and Canadian stocks if your contest creator has enabled Canadian stocks in your contest. If the markets are closed, you'll have an alert message at the top of the screen. Again, you can switch between any contest here or get a little snapshot of your portfolio up here. If you need some ideas of some popular stocks, we also keep a list at the bottom of the page here. The mutual fund trading screen is pretty much the same thing. I would look at the mutual fund trading video for details on trading mutual funds. Next, the contest tab at the top. Almost all of these will take you to the same place with different things already loaded. My contests will take you down to the contest tab of the contest that you've already joined. You can also switch between expired contests that you've joined that have already ended, create your own contest, or find a new contest that you would like to join. Any contest that's public will automatically be in this list. If you want to find a contest that's private, type the name in here and find contest, and it'll appear in the search results. You can click join and put in the password to join a private contest. If you want to create your own contest, there's a video here on the side of the page that will show you how to do that. You can also join any public contest that we're promoting here at the top of the page. Over here you can see contest forums. Every contest on the site has its own forums. You can post messages, ask questions, or do anything else you like, and only people who have joined into that contest can read these messages. These messages will appear both on this page and on the My Rankings page for this contest in the My Portfolio page. Next we have our Education Center. There's over 500 articles in the Education Center, and it's growing every day. You can find some of the most popular articles right at the top of this list here, but inside the Education Center itself there's a lot more resources as well. For example, we keep a list of current events so you can see some of the most top headlines in the economic world. You can get a little bit of information about why this is such an important matter, some of the economic basics that are worked behind each of these things, a lot more information like that. We also have the newest glossary words, so if you're looking for a particular glossary word, you can look here for a list of the most popular ones that we've just added because people were asking for it. Down here we have the most popular articles that people have been clicking a lot. For example, right now we're having a big challenge. A lot of people have been wanting information, so we've put the blue chip challenge information right at the top of the list. You can also browse by category of different articles we have. For example, for beginners, we have things like intro to stocks, how do you build a portfolio, and what do you do to look at a portfolio chart. More advanced articles include fundamental analysis and the basics of technical analysis. There's 6 different main categories on the site, but there's several more as well. You can get a full list by clicking up at the top of the page. You can see all of the categories right here. For example, all of these are for teachers, including guides for teachers on using How the Market Works, a collection of lesson plans, upcoming webinars, and how you can use How the Market Works in the classroom. Most students will be using the articles in the beginners section. Every main heading has about 30 or 40 articles listed in a row. And you can always see more, and we're always adding more content for students and new investors to use as their research tools. On the right-hand side, you can search for more articles, or again, you can use this window to get a quote for any symbol in our system, or even some that are not. If you're looking for an idea of what you need to start trading when you first open your portfolio, you can check out some of our trading ideas up here. The basic page has a cycling list of the most popular stocks on this system, including the company's logo. The market hasn't opened yet, but this would have its daily change. You can trade it right now, taking you straight to the trade page with it pre-filled, or get some news, charts, or quotes for any of these companies. We have both the popular stocks and today's biggest market movers. For example, the Wave Systems, Wave X, has gone up 50% today. You can also look at today's market summary, which is things that have been happening in the market as a whole. So example, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 and TSX, which is the Canadian main index. You can see some of the biggest market news of the day here, and a little bit more information of things around the world, like Forex rates. You can also find things like the most popular stocks, the best and worst ETFs list, and a lot of other information here. Earnings releases are always a popular place to go because earnings releases is what usually causes stock's price to fluctuate the most in the shortest period of time. So if you want a stock that's going to have a lot of movement, try to find one that's having an earnings release coming up soon. Next, we have our interactive calculators. Each of these is a completely different calculator, but they all work basically the same. You have a calculator that loads, and then you have some parameters that you can put in and get some information. For example, I want to know if I'm 18 years old and I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 64, I can move these values around to see how much I need to save and at what return I need to get in order to save that amount. So at age 18, and I want to be a millionaire by 64, I have $1,000 now and I can save $100 per month. If I can get a 10% return, that'll be a millionaire by the time I'm 63. If I move this return up a little bit to 15%, I'll be a millionaire by the time I'm 51. All of our calculators are completely responsive, so you can slide these to any values you'd like. You can say if I wait until I'm 33, how much will I get? And then down here we have a little bit more information about all of the values that you can choose. There's also links to some more information about things that you might be looking at. For example, if you want to learn about the expected inflation rate, you can click here for another article about what is inflation. Right now we have 7 calculators listed, but we're adding more all the time. For a complete list, click the calculators link itself. If you love the site and you'd like to buy a t-shirt, you can find all that information in our shop. However, if you need to contact us about any problem you have, the last link over here is Contact Us. Just give us your username, first name, last name, email address, and the problem you're having, and we'll take care of it for you. And that's all you need to know to navigate the basics of our site.